Gloucester, though, have had their injury problems this season. Tony Underwood and Paul Dodge are still missing from the back division, and up front, David Kitching replaces the injured Stuart Redfern at prop, and Matt Poole, who played for England under-21s against Romania, takes over from T.Smith at lock. Such is Gloucester's strength in depth at the moment that John Etheridge, the England B lock, is kept out by J.Brain. As always, Gloucester will rely heavily on an impressive pack, in which the back row of Gadd, Teague and Smith will be keeping a watchful eye on Cusworth and company. Your commentator is Nigel Starmer-Smith.
England international panel referee Colin High, who will be on the line in Cardiff next week in charge of this vital game in the Courage League. Leicester then, the Tigers, on their home ground against one of their sternest opponents, with Gloucester having had much the best of the 80s in this competition. Reverse takes it in from T.Smith's dropout. Worked back by Ian Smith, Steve Kenny, Les Cusworth. Dropping outside the 22, Derek Morgan, chance of the breakaway, knock-on advantage played. And Leicester come on the counter-attack, pass just in front of Barry Evans, a pick-up by Jim Breeze. Hannaford to Hamlin. On the full. So, lively opening, with the odd early errors and good advantage played by the referee on 2 occasions. Sunny afternoon, it's more like it, and a terrific crowd here. So well supported, the Tigers. Just see 2 Ian Smiths at the tail of the line there. The elder, the Leicester man, Dosser Smith. Kenny, Cusworth, Buttimore. Good forward support, Kenny again to Cusworth. And that's Liley up in the line, just short of the 22. The drive on now by Perverse, the young number 8. Touch on the far side. Very efficient Leicester. And Perverse back to position. Great build-up here. This is the new man to take over from Dusty Hare at fullback, John Liley, and what an impact he's made already. Then the support of Perverse, the number 8, and forced into touch. From the throw, Gloucester, initial possession. Still there, looks like Teague battling away. But Leicester have worked it away. Troy Thacker, the hooker. Pretty torrid up front. This is Hannaford. Well, good idea, bad pass. That's a knock-on not given, but now offside. Oh, hand on the ball, on the deck after the tackle. So a first chance of points for John Liley. How well Leicester have done to find such an able replacement for the seemingly irreplaceable Dusty Hare. John Liley, a swimming pool attendant from Wakefield, spotted and invited by Peter Wheeler to join Leicester. Second team rugby last season, and then setting out this year with a 29-point debut against Pontypridd. Since then, 215 points altogether. England's leading point scorer. Liley now from the touchline. What a kick! Oh yes. 218 points now in his first season, and we're just about halfway through, so an amazing performance, and what a start then for Leicester. T.Smith with the restart. Good catch, Matt Poole. It's a youngster to keep an eye on this afternoon. 20-year-old in the second row ranks. "13 years his senior, Les Cusworth. And Gloucester have opted to cut their line out to the 2 men. Worked well enough, but Brain is well snaffled. But there are men on the wrong side. in Leicester colours, and it's a Gloucester penalty and a chance to pull back those 3 points. And Smith has a chance to level it. No wind at all. Good kick. Touché. 3-3 then. 11 minutes gone. Teague holds it. Lets it go. Hannaford. Liley covers. An awkward one. Wasn't quite sure whether to take it on the full and risk it, but conceded the position really by letting it bounce. John Liley. So that puts Gloucester on the attack, 5 metres out. Teague jumping in the middle, but it's round the front. And a penalty there against Leicester, who charged in the line-out. So, will they go for T.Smith's penalty attempt, or kick at attack penalty? They've opted for the chance of the 3 points. Careful preparations and a chance of the lead for T.Smith. Just over a quarter of an hour played. Still calm conditions. Hushed crowd. Perfect kick. 6-3. Year-old Troy Thacker. Covers the ball from his throw-in. Dug out by Kenny, spun away to Cusworth, through to Buttermore. This is Bates, good move. That's Evans across on the left wing. As Leicester play it so well, 2 wings in concert, and a penalty to Leicester as Gloucester roll over. Leicester looking impressive when in possession, the backs moving fluently, and as we saw in the Barbarians match during the Christmas season, 2 wingers in sparkling form and acting well in concert. Similar position to his first successful penalty. Like clockwork. So 100% from both kickers. 6-6 it stands midway through this first half. Cusworth hoists it. Morgan in possession, halfway line. Gloucester pack win it. Through to Kasky. That's neat. Liley under pressure here. Still in play. T.Smith to set up the counter-attack. John Wells underneath. Good catch. Very solid. Cusworth back in the 22. Not in touch. Maybe now. Kept in by Hamlin. It's another one missed. Cusworth again. Open side this time. Pavars. Brave tackle from Kasky to bring the burly number 8 down. Matt Poole to Cusworth. Bates to Underwood. Underwood still, Liley on the inside. Inside the Gloucester 22. And the crowd roaring them on. They have possession. Kenny is caught. Preedy is offside. Well, great resurgence by Leicester after being under considerable pressure. Improvisation from the second row Poole, and then Cusworth, Bates and Underwood here. Liley, you see, comes and checks on the inside, reading it well, but still plenty of Gloucester cover. And as the Gloucester pack set it up, Preedy is tempted to come through just there. In front of the post again. Off goes Pavoas. Kenny. Man and ball well read by Hamlin, and T.Smith on the break. Cosworth covering. Smith again with the fly hack through. Barry Evans races back. And suddenly it's Leicester under pressure in their own 22. Doncaski popped up from John Gadd. And Gloucester have the bit between the teeth. Hannaford to Preedy. Shades of a dummy, sets it up. Hannaford again. Preedy standing off. Hamlin took it well. Only 5 metres out. Gloucester possession. Hannaford looks for the gap. He's rolled it off to Mogg. Try under the post. And Gloucester supporters jubilant. All against the run of play, but a very splendid breakout. 10-6. And this was how the first try of the match came. Concerted effort by Gloucester from deep in their own 22. And Leicester unable to cover finally as Teague rolled it round in the tackle. And Mogg knew where to go. In front of the post, T.Smith. And suddenly, after all the territorial advantage, it's Gloucester with the one opportunity they had in the last quarter of an hour, breaking out, and 12-6 is their reward. Poole in the middle. Impressive so far by the England under-21 international. From Richardson, Kenny, Cosworth. This is Underwood. Rory Underwood. That's a great tackle by Smith. Yes, on the wrong side. Penalty to Leicester. John Wells at the bottom. Well, there's a lovely switch move again in the centre, coming from Bates to Underwood. Watch the full-back tackle here, though. It really was courageous and superbly executed. And the return pass onto Buttermore, not to hand. But Gloucester offside. It's going well these days, yes. Rory Underwood in sparkling form in his tune-up to the international next week. So it's Liley. Try and pull Leicester within 3 points again. 2 out of 3 is track record for the match. 3 out of 4. Confidently, and putting Leicester right back in touch. Shoots out. Kenny, nice pick up on the run. Half sets up Cosworth. Liley tries to ship it on. The tension was right. Trying to distribute. The quick throw in from Gadd to Preedy is allowed. Hannaford still for the line. Is in at the corner. Some smart thinking there as the Leicester players were contesting the earlier line out call. And Gloucester took the very quick throw in. There was the bit of the dispute, and you can see now some very good thinking here with Gadd and Preedy, the men instrumental. And then twice Hannaford in the move. Here for the first time. And the drive to the line. And the crowd not best pleased, but it was certainly quick reaction by Gloucester that caught them napping. Team and perhaps supporters. An appeal for quiet over the loudspeaker from John Allen, the Leicester secretary, rightly so. T.Smith with the conversion attempt. From the touchline, off the post. So his first miss of the day. But Gloucester with a 7-point lead as the team's change ends. Half-time whistle goes in something of a controversial buzz amongst the crowd. But Gloucester certainly have taken their opportunities, but I sense this game is still anyone's. Kick dead by T.Smith. So, Leicester with a lot to do. A lot of responsibility on the shoulders of Cusworth, the captain. Teague bowled over by Poole. This is Derek Morgan now. Elusive. Good acceleration up to the 22. Support from Teague. Teague floats it inside. No one to pick it up in Gloucester colours. There is now. Hannaford. Well, talk about taking your chances. And Gloucester stunned the crowd and Leicester again. Morgan it was who made it. This incisive run, carving through the Leicester pack. Here it was almost a try from Teague, but he realised the cover was there from Underwood. Floats it inside, it goes to ground. Leicester knock it forward, Gloucester did not. And Hannaford is through. 20 points to 9 from 6 points all earlier in the game. There was the speculative throw inside. It nearly went to Preedy. It was kicked forward by a Leicester player. Hannaford on the pickup. Crowd stunned. But Gloucester supporters happy enough. T.Smith. That's a good kick. Turned away as soon as he struck it. It was bang on target. And Gloucester rubbing salt into the wound. 22 points to 9. The worst possible start for Leicester. But Gloucester, the old lesson learned. Take your chances. Get on with the game. So Gloucester looking for a win that'll keep pressure right on Bath at the top of the Courage leads. Just 1 point behind. That's neatly played by Kenny. Right into the corner. Touch of the old master there. Urging his troops, Steve Kenny. Pressure's really on now with a deficit of 13 points. Leicester back on their heels. Shrill blast from Colin High. And a free kick to Leicester. Borderline out defence. No direct kick goal allowed, of course. And they need points. They look set to run. Kenny with Troy Thacker standing off. Wayne Richardson there just behind him. So there's the pivot move. On the drive, Alex Gissing to try and set up better ball. Full penalty now with a hand in the ruck. And this time I sense Leicester will go for the 3 points. Give it to Liley. Ease the burden by 3 points, but would also put them within 2 scores of the Gloucester total. Three penalties out of 4 attempts so far. Takes it up to 80% now. Cuts the lead to 10 points now, and Leicester still in there fighting. Comes rather repetitive and boring. I've often said you may as well start the restart with a 22 dropout. A number of times it happens. So Cusworth. J.Brain up high, recovers it. Teague drives it off. Shades of summer in Australia, that kind of play from him. Scrivens trying to feed it through the legs. It's there for Gloucester. Hannaford into the box. Morgan chases Underwood back there. Awkward bounce. It's a free try, surely. Well, Underwood recovered as Morgan also slipped. What an almost nightmare for Rory Underwood. Looked harmless enough initially, but it was a clever little kick because there was a bit of life in this. Underwood unable to get back there quick enough and slipped, and so did Morgan. and Underwood just. Teague at the back. Tap down, but not so tidy. Still, Gloucester pack set it up. Preedy dummies inside, passes outside to Hamlin, and then Breeze on the drive. Gloucester with their tails up again. 5 metres out. Trying to work it round now. On comes Brain. Hannaford in there. Trying to dig it out, and does. Waits, looking to catch Leicester offside and burrow his way close to, but it didn't come off. They have it now though through Gadd. Breeze on the left. Hand in the ruck. Penalty to Leicester. Jim Breeze back to position to face the clearance from Cusworth. On goes Dunn. Gloucester again. The charge on and the try. J.Brain. And surely that is the killer blow. Kevin Dunn on the return pass. Scampers away. And Hannaford to set up his second row forward here with a well-timed pass as Gloucester rub it in. Ian Bates, Buttermore on the scissors. Tackle first by Hamlin, then by Ian Smith. Now it's Kenny, Cusworth. Ian Bates, Cusworth. Lovely flip pass to Underwood for the try. Good consolation. Nice moment from the two internationals. Mike Teague saluting Rory Underwood's fine Leicester try. That's given the home crowd something to cheer about in the dying moments of the game. There's a lovely reverse pass coming in here from the old maestro Les Cusworth. As Bates went up the middle to straighten it, there it is. Lovely to see, and Underwood rounding it off. Touches that certainly glorify the game. Good understanding, and Underwood, no stopping. Teague, despairingly. So, 26-16, and a tale perhaps of what might have been for Leicester here as we move into injury time. John Liley almost amongst the crowd. Leicester with a try to celebrate. Well, that's an extraordinary kick. Swerved one way then the other, but went the wrong side of the post. For the final flourish of the match, and the visitors, Gloucester, celebrate with a tremendous late first half and whole of second half performance. Worthy winners indeed, and mounting that challenge at the top of the table. 1 point at the start of the day behind Bath. There'll certainly be no further behind than that at the end, after an emphatic victory that ends Leicester's remarkable home record of 20 victories in a row. 26 points to 16. Gloucester up there at the top of the table and fighting.